In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through ways to optimize your ship layout and give a brief overview of some of the materials. So if you want to go ahead and build out your ship over here, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. Don't build large. Start off something really small, and you can definitely leverage your sketching tool. I like to create symmetry, so what I often do is I just kind of stretch this out and try to find out how many blocks there are. There's about 54 blocks, and so the center point is probably somewhere around 27 or so. And so what I usually do is I'll find that, I'll build two little points along over here, and when you're in sketch mode, it doesn't actually build anything, it just helps you kind of plan out your rooms. And the nice thing that they do is that it actually gives you an option to activate sketch. So that means building out the areas. And so what are you doing with the sketch? The sketch is really just to showcase the hull, the outside of the ship. And they've got different types of skins, which is pretty nice. So we're going to go ahead and try to build an Firefly-esque spaceship. So I wish I knew this before. All the objects that I mentioned over here, they can be rotated and such by using Q, but the hyperdrive. The reason why this is important is because when I tried building out my ship, using the sketch tool, I got really fancy with everything. I had the ship oriented this way. Actually went to finally build out the hyperdrive. I was like, oh, I can't rotate this, and it's locked in this perspective. That forced me to kind of redo the entire design. And I wish I knew that before. Definitely something that you need to keep in mind when you're actually using the sketch tool and building out your hull. Okay, I've finished out the layout of the ship. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I've decided and planned out how the ship is going to be. So right over here, I'm going to have my crew quarters. And the reason why I chose that kind of on the front of the ship is because they want to be able to have easy access to their work area. You don't want to have it too far out where they have to get out and walk to where they need to do their work. You want to plan out your space of your ship effectively, because you don't want to have them spending so much time walking back and forth. So we've got our crew quarters over here. Next to that, we've got our kitchen station. This is where we're going to have entertainment set up, where they can kind of easily walk through their workstation over here. Then I have my cockpit. This is where I build out your hub, where your pilot will actually be managing and moving the ship. This over here will be eventually my engine bay. The reason why you want to segment all of these stations, they all have beauty requirements, and also you want to contain these gases, so that way they're not being expelled and you're not having to generate so much oxygen in a given area. So you can manage gases by classifying your industry rooms by two types. The first being very hazardous rooms, and the second being medium to low hazardous gas rooms. For the first type, you want to place buildings like the chemical refinery and energy refinery, because they release a significant amount of hazardous gas and is noisy. Then place buildings that don't produce as much in the second industry room. Hyperspace module stuff is going to be over here, as well as over here. I'm going to create my assembly line over here. I'm going to create my farming station over here. Okay, now that we've got our ship layout, let's take a look at our common resources. This is carbon ore, you use them for two buildings, the gas scrubber and metal refinery to create steel plates. Those steel plates are used to create more hull, and infra blocks and tech blocks. These are noble metals, they're used to create your industry buildings. Those buildings need infra blocks and tech blocks. Blocks are more expensive compared to infra blocks. Water over here is also very important, so we're actually mine them. You just kind of dedicate how much you want to mine. So we're going to do this. Carbon's really important, and let's do some of the base metals. Yeah, and once you actually mine and you're hitting your plus icon, you can dictate which or where it should be transported on your fleet. So because I've got two ships in my fleet, one being just the template and the other being the actual asteroid, have them transfer things to the HSS Bellatrix. Why not? Next, we're going to just go ahead and manage our schedule. You don't want them all to actually be sleeping at the same time, so we'll choose this person's schedule here, and the way you kind of edit this is you want to just, let's go ahead and start off fresh, copy this, and then boom, paste this. Okay, we set up their ship schedule. Didn't get a chance to go over job priorities, but that's important, but I'll be covering that on another video. So just to recap a few important points, start small. Whenever you build your ship, it consumes quite a bit of resources, so you can optimize your ship layout by placing your work areas near your living quarters for your crew. Don't forget about comfort zones. Place them near those work areas. Make sure they're nice and segmented from those industry zones. You can mitigate hazard of gas by bucketing those industry zones into 2 areas. For highly hazardous gas rooms, don't forget to put some space stores. Resources like carbon, base metals, and noble metals, although they're important, they're common materials, so they're not that important. They're just used to build your industry facilities. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like the content that you see, you can show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. I try to release new content each week, so personally it really helps me out, keeps me motivated. So thank you so much. Until next time.